And welcome to Armchair Quarterback as we head into Week 14 of the NFL season. They were calling it Super Bowl 48 and a half, Super Bowl preview to Super Bowl 49. The game pretty much played out, I think, as expected. Maybe not as high scoring as a lot of people thought, but I guess you could say the Green Bay Packers escaped with a win. They had their chances, certainly, to make this a much bigger game, I think, in some cases. Right. But the Patriots hung in. They spotted the Packers 13 points and come up short 26-21 this week.
Right.
But just your...
What was it, three-point spread, I think?
3-point spread.
I remember last time you asked me if I was going to pick the game, who would I pick? And I was going to pick Green Bay.
Yeah.
But, being a homie, I couldn't do it. Wish I did. But, I guess I'd rather lose this game than meet again and win the Super Bowl.
A lot of people saying this week that the Patriots, despite the loss in Green Bay, they did not look bad in the loss. It's
Tommy
not
was
like
having a couple of temper tantrums out there.
A little bit.
I think he had Tourette's or something.
F-bombs
Yeah, he was,
coming out there in the cold weather. Yeah.
It wasn't like Tom.
No.
He's competitive, but...
Yeah. Yeah, he was competitive, but the Patriots, they really shouldn't have given up the 13. I think the backbreaker, we'll take a look at the highlights in just 1 second, but that play to Jordy Nelson right before the half, backbreaker, you have to say.
Great pair of receivers, and they hung in there. Most teams, Green Bay is blowing everybody away, just like the Patriots, but Lambeau Field's a big home field advantage, and certainly helped them out, although cold weather is not unfamiliar to the Patriots.
Patriots play in the cold weather. That's not an issue.
They just got beat by a team that was a little better that day.
Right. And Aaron Rodgers, some of his throws in this game, they would pinpoint right exactly where they had to be.
And he's just kind of like, well, you could say Andrew Luck's the quarterback of the future, but Rodgers just has that little dimension to buy some time to scramble that Peyton Manning doesn't have, and Tom Brady doesn't have. As great as they are, he buys himself a little time because he is more mobile and he can run, he can put it down. He's a smart guy, so he has that little extra. He's almost like this Peyton Manning and Drew Brees and Brady, and then you got 5 years down is Aaron Rodgers, and then you got Luck coming right behind him, and they're probably like the top 5 guys right now with 10 years separating. There's 5 of them.
Yeah, this the golden age of quarterbacks, you'd have to say, in this league. We should also mention that Rich Brockway is being played by a snowman tonight. Rich not able to get out of work. Rich will be sending his picks along a little bit later on the show, but Rich really tried. He kind of gave it the college try.
Yeah.
And hopefully, Marty O'Malley, hope you're feeling better. Got to go through one of those guy procedures that us older gentlemen have to have once in a while.
Got to do it.
Marty, hope you're feeling better. We'll see you next week for sure. But
anyway,
let's go to the highlights of Lambeau Field and the Patriots and Pack. And a lot of people talking about this game, one of the highest rated games on TV this week.
Yeah.
And matchup for the 2 marquee quarterbacks probably in the NFL right now. And Aaron Rodgers almost falls over on how much he faked that pass. But he comes up, and this kid Adams was kind of the guy. You don't hear that much about. You hear about Cobb. You hear about Jordy.
He's coming on though. He's a good third receiver, and Cobb is a great play. Mentioning Aaron Rodgers. What's it like? 18 degrees out there, and here's a guy. How strong are his hands to fake that ball? Like you said, almost fall down, but
and then kind of just flick it. No wind up.
Holds on to the ball and then puts it right where it has to be.
Wow. And then the Patriots getting going here. The kind of a big day for Brandon LaFell. 2 touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, he has his moments, and I saw Gronk made a trip to see the Beeve last night. Did you catch that?
That's probably not a good thing. I guess there's the curse of Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
If the team that once the players start getting injured, the team loses.
I hate to see him get in trouble. Those 2 guys out there together. That's a scary combo.
Yeah, I don't want Gronk hanging around with that.
No, Beeve.
Those strong words anyway, that one. And right before half, this is the play that kind of blew it open. Jordy Nelson, a tremendous play right before the half.
Yeah.
And it was Revis's guy. Revis kind of gave up on the play a little bit.
Revis had been doing a great job on him all up to that point, and then he just got burnt. Jordy Nelson, a top 5 receiver. So
absolutely.
But Revis, he got burnt on this one. And unlike him, but
Patriots trying to mount a little bit of a comeback here. They get it down to 23-21, and right here the Pack really with a chance to put it away. Adams drops a short touchdown, and Aaron Rodgers not too happy with that. They settle for the field goal.
To relax.
Relax.
Really?
Patriots tried to mount a comeback here, but it would fall a little bit short. And,
Yeah, was this a pickoff to end this drive? Was a tick? I forget how this drive
Yeah,
ended.
I think it was a sack. I think, and Gronk almost a fabulous play.
Right,
that would
right,
have
right.
given them the lead.
Oh yeah, that was. Really close.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit.
Got under it, just couldn't maintain it through the.
Yeah, I mean that would be a miracle
Right.
catch.
It looked
really, if
like
catch
he
it.
had it there for a second, but even Gronk couldn't catch it. If Gronk can't catch it,
Yeah,
no
and
one
then
can
this
catch
one hurt here. The Patriots. I think that might have been the only
it. That
sack
might
they
have been
gave
it
up
right
on
there.
the entire day.
That was a killer right there.
Oh, this is
And an uncharacteristic missed field
by
goal that
Gostkowski
didn't help. But,
would have closed it to 26-24.
what was it? 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
And so
And then
still.
this is here. This is they get the first down. They pretty much end the game, and Green Bay does come up with the first down.
Yeah, well, that's a good team. They've got a pretty good running game going with Eddie Lacy.
Eddie Lacy.
And Stark's even filling in. So this kid Lacy runs real hard,
Yeah.
complements the passing game. Arguably, is there a better all-around offense? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I mean, really.
the defense I think suspect, but there's your final score there. 26-21 is your final, but
Defense getting better. Clay Matthews, definitely an All-Pro in my book, kind of the leader of the D.
defense I think is improved. I think they still can be beaten in certain ways, but the Patriots, did they abandon the run too early in this game?
You know, I was talking with our buddy King Canals, saying, when Ridley went down, you really thought, okay, it's even when the season started, it would seem like Vereen was the guy.
Yeah.
And then Ridley went down, and Vereen had a big game. I think it was maybe the first play of a game. He caught a bomb.
Right, yep.
And had 2 touchdowns. So now you think, oh, Vereen's going to take over. But I don't know if it's the Patriots, Bill Belichick trying to keep other teams off balance, not knowing how to prepare for them. But one a week, it's Vereen. The next week, it's Jonas Gray.
Yeah.
Jonas Gray's late. You haven't seen him since.
bench.
Then it's Brandon Bolden.
Bolden getting carries.
Bolden getting carries.
And what did LeGarrette Blount do this week?
LeGarrette Blount,
Did he
so-
get in the doghouse this week?
So how do you know? I mean, I don't think they really have one guy. To me, I don't know. To me, Vereen is kind of the best all-around guy, but they seem like they've kind of put him into the third down back role. He's definitely the best pass catcher. Bolden has a couple of years ago, he had a couple of great games.
Yeah.
And I guess they're fortunate to have such a
Stable
abundance
back,
of-
yeah, a stable of.
But I really
running backs.
thought that Vereen would emerge as, a primetime running back, and that hasn't really happened.
They really do not have that one go-to running back. It's just that's how they roll. And like you said, Belichick likes to keep everyone off balance. You don't know who's going to play. Patriots at San Diego this week, which all of a sudden is a huge game. But let's take a look at the AFC playoff picture. We'll show you how big this game is going to be because the San Diego Chargers, they go into Baltimore and beat the Ravens 34-33.
Phil Rivers.
So right now, Patriots, the #1 seed, Denver at 9-3. Denver with a big win in Kansas City this week. Cincinnati, 8-3-1, barely survived, beat Tampa. They win Tampa Bay by 1 point. Indianapolis keeps it rolling.
Right. Miami wins ugly over the Jets.
Miami, not a pretty win, but then you look at the very bottom of the screen, 5 teams at 7-5.
Well-
Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Buffalo Bills.
To me, if you really look at this playoff picture, it tells you clearly what a big game this is. So 12 games. What do you got? 4 games left?
4 games left after.
All right.
that.
So like
Yep.
a New England loss and a Denver win, you've lost home field.
Right. Yeah.
So you
There's
really
the 1 point difference, and also you lose ground to San Diego. Then you'd be both 9-4. You're losing the tiebreaker
Right.
to San
So
Diego.
you kind of want to win them all. They had another big game after this. It's San Diego and
Well, then they got Miami, Buffalo, and the Jets. They got the
all right.
Buffalo.
So this
last.
is the toughest team.
This is the toughest of the last 4 games.
Right.
And then
so,
your division games to end this.
So
season.
this game is big just because that home field advantage is huge, and if you lose this game, you might very well lose that home field advantage, like you said, whether it's Denver or San Diego,
Right.
Colts. You don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, they head-to-head, they obviously they beat the Colts, they beat the Broncos, so they would hold the tiebreaker. San Diego, they would not. San Diego still has a tough schedule,
Right.
But you don't want to look past this
No.
game at all, for sure.
Right, it's a big one, so.
Also, the Patriots this week staying out in San Diego after the Green Bay. They fly out to San Diego, out in California, the entire.
it's on the Beeb.
The Beeb. That's where they saw the
he's
Beeb.
taking care of it.
And we'll take a look now at the NFC playoff picture where Arizona, another tough loss for them. They
Yeah.
seem to be losing altitude.
A little
here
bit, losing a little bit of steam.
They can hear the Green Bay Packers coming up their heels a little bit.
Right, Philly's hanging right in there.
Philadelphia on Thanksgiving Day go into Dallas, humiliate the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys not ready to play at all.
And Seattle starting maybe to get back into form a little bit.
Yeah, huge game. Seattle at Philadelphia this week. You can't get better drama than these matchups.
Yeah, that's good.
Detroit bounces back into the playoff picture. And the New Orleans Saints go into Pittsburgh and they beat Pittsburgh. 3 straight losses at home, but Atlanta wins. So Atlanta still hangs on with that awful 5-7 record. So that's a look at the NFC playoff picture. You just can't figure football. I don't know.
No.
We've gone back and forth on this New Orleans Saints thing,
Right.
where you get burned
2 times.
2 times in a row. I get burned the week
So I'm going to teach New Orleans a lesson. I'm going to pick against them this week.
And then
they take
win.
Then they take it to town.
Pittsburgh coming off a bye week. Pittsburgh looks like they're getting it going. I'm not sure about this, but I think Roethlisberger broken non-throwing hand, something like
That's when
that.
he's at his best. Of course, that was my one time of the year to pick Pittsburgh. Whether I pick them, they don't win. When I pick against them, they beat.
That's
So,
why
like New
that's
Orleans.
why they're one of my
Certain
favorite teams.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, another team that is just hard to figure. That
Right.
they can look so bad. They could get trounced by Cleveland at home on a Thursday night football game. They go down to the Buccaneers. They should kill Buccaneers, win by 1.
Right. Well,
So
hard to
just-
figure,
yeah,
hard to figure.
It's hard to figure.
There's some of those teams that-
and then getting back to some of those St. Patrick's Day, getting way ahead of myself.
think of that
on this
green
one.
beer.
Thanksgiving Day games. The San Francisco 49ers looked terrible. The Seattle Seahawks have this team's number.
But they just haven't really.
They can't score, and you got to put it all on Kaepernick.
A little bit. The coach. There's rumors he might have lost, and there's rumors he's writing his ticket out of town. They just don't seem like that dominant force. Maybe you hit the nail on the head with Kaepernick taking over for Alex Smith. Everybody thought they were going to go to the next level because he was better. But you know what? Alex Smith got him. Did they go to the Super Bowl or the game before the Super Bowl?
Well, they got him. He got knocked out during that season. Kaepernick played the second half.
But there was
of that
one
season.
game where I remember Alex Smith had a rollout. He had a big game. He ran a touchdown in, and Alex Smith. He's not flashy, but he gets the job done. And you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't have the. Maybe he didn't pose naked for ESPN magazine.
He's got all the
doesn't have
tats.
the tats like Kaepernick.
Yeah.
But truth is, he might be better than Kaepernick.
Right.
They might have kept the wrong guy.
Yeah, possible, because then Kansas City comes up the
They're
charts.
doing all right.
Kansas City
Something
hanging
to
in
be
there.
said about it. It was the same
Kansas City's
quarterback.
still in the playoff hunt. A team that kind of had a letdown this week, I thought, was the Cleveland Browns. A team they seemed like they were on the edge. It's not out of it. It's 7-5, but they go up to Buffalo this week, and they did not put in a good performance. Buffalo Bills beat them, putting Buffalo Bills back in the playoff picture right now
How do
at
you
7-5.
figure? It's hard to feel. They just don't seem like
They're a step below, I think. They might have that 7-5 record, but I think that's because the teams that are really bad are extremely bad. Your Oaklands, your Tennessees, your Jacksonvilles.
Yeah, Tennessee's
teams
shown a couple of little flashes, but not really. They just, St. Louis comes out big, like the best team in football last week.
Yeah. Just quickly, a comment on if you saw the highlights, the solidarity coming out with the.
Yeah.
I'm all for First Amendment. But is this the time and place to?
No, these guys get paid to play football, not to stage protests. That's my opinion. Granted, you want to take an interest, but you're paid a lot of money, and you're not there to, make judgments on equal rights. You're paid to play football.
Right,
so
yeah.
just keep your mouth shut and play football.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah, the Rams actually did focus on football after that. I guess you could call it an unfortunate event
I
or
guess,
whatever.
yeah.
They come out and they just bomb out Oakland 52-0.
Hey, no, don't get me wrong. I think
That's
it's great that you feel that way, and I might feel the same way, but I don't know if it was the right time or the right place.
not
to
quite
do
the
it.
right forum, maybe to. to do
And
it.
then I see, just think about guys like LeBron James wants Johnny Football to start. Well, last time I knew you were a player playing basketball, not a coach.
Yeah,
with
not
the Cleveland
involved
Browns.
in the Cleveland Browns
But every once in a while,
organization at all.
LeBron's just,
Oversteps his bounds.
yeah, it's just,
How about play better for the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Maybe.
Last time I checked, they're not burning up the league.
no,
that
but
team,
always a little opinionated.
Yep. But anyway, actually, before we get to that, another game that was very disappointing was if Atlanta Falcons are beating the Arizona Cardinals. Atlanta Falcons, obviously, they've shown flashes of being a brutally awful team.
Right.
But they beat
They're still in first place. How do you figure?
At 5-7, they beat the Cardinals this week, and that's a bad loss for.
Well, the Cardinals are playing without Larry Fitzgerald, a primetime receiver. They're playing without Andre Ellington, who's kind of their main running back, who's, a game time decision this week with the hip pointers. So they're probably missing their two best, and the quarterback, Palmer's out for the year, I believe.
He's out for the year.
So they've lost their three best offensive players, and obviously that's taken a toll on them because when they had those three guys, they were looking like Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
And now, bing, 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 they lose those three guys. Take a Gronk, Brady, and Vereen or Ridley, whoever, out of the equation here, and the Patriots aren't Super Bowl contenders either.
Yeah, so. And Gronk's a big part of that too.
Gronk is a beautiful person. That guy just kills me.
Yeah, piece of work. They almost like unrobed him. If you remember that, if you saw that play, he was.
Right.
Good thing he was wearing underwear that day, or whatever. But and then another team that kind of bounced back this week was the Denver Broncos. Not a total blowout, but they kind of had that game in control in Kansas City. Tough place to play. The Patriots did not fare that well in Kansas City going back earlier this season.
Right. Well, that was the big blemish of the season. I mean, that was a game that they just looked awful, and the Boo Birds were out, and Brady was all done. But Kansas City is a good team, and it's a tough place to play.
Yeah.
So a good win for Denver, a good bounce back win because that was no gimme right there.
Right, a tough spot for them in prime time especially. And then the Dolphins go on the road, beat the hapless Jets, but did not look that pretty doing it.
I don't know if Sexy Rexy's going to, he might make the season, but could be the end of the Sexy Rexy's run in New York.
Yeah, I think it's time for both the Ryan brothers to be looking for employment. I mean, they'll get jobs, there's no question. Someone will hire them. Maybe not as head coaches, but they'll wind up maybe somewhere on some...
Yeah, I mean, they're good. They're good football minds, but I don't know. Sexy Rexy, I mean, there's something kind of, he's a character.
He is.
He put a pretty
perfect for New York City.
Right, but it's an awful team they got out there. I don't know how they got so bad. Maybe they haven't had a really good quarterback there. I mean, I thought Sanchez was better than Geno Smith.
Sanchez seems to be a better fit in Philadelphia, certainly. Kind of keeping the seat warm. Nick Foles maybe 2 to 3 weeks away, maybe around playoff time.
I don't know how much of an upgrade Michael Vick was. I mean, Michael Vick's, I think, his best years are behind him. And Geno Smith is just, he hasn't got the job done. So they might be going for a quarterback again this year because I don't know if either one of those guys is coming back.
Boy, I don't know. Hopefully they don't go for the Florida State Winston. If you follow that. But the Florida State, they've had some issues with their starting quarterback.
Oh, really?
Out of the mold of other Florida State players.
Yeah,
but,
just a little extracurritorial activities.
A lot of them. Yeah. So anyway, it's.
How about Ray Rice?
The Ray Royce. Is
he going to be playing football next year? This year?
Yeah. Well, obviously the thing he won his appeal, and now can sign with any team in the league. And early this week they were saying that maybe the Colts, maybe the Saints may be involved in maybe possibly entertaining interest, but they both have taken a step back from that situation.
I'm torn because I'm a big Ray Rice fan. When Ray Rice was at the top of his game, arguably my favorite player in the league. And it's a terrible thing what he did.
Sure.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
But, it's not the same as what Michael Vick did. But this guy's done everything that he can do to kind of seek forgiveness.
Yeah.
And he's apologized. His wife forgave him. He's gone into programs. He's doing community service. At some point, does the guy deserve another chance?
Well, they're saying it's part of the rehabilitation, him playing football again. Mm-hmm. A lot of people say yes. Some people say no.
Hey, everybody makes mistakes,
sure.
And you know what I mean. If the guy was just like to me, I still think Adrian Peterson. He still kind of came out and he was lame. I'm just doing what my father did to me. That doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
20 years ago, it might have been okay and was permissible, but you can't do that. You can't. It's child abuse.
Yeah.
But he was like in denial, and he wasn't fessing up to that. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm wrong. I made a mistake. It won't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, after they took away his livelihood, I don't know if he's as sincere as I see Ray Rice really saying, a guy that was always a likable guy. That made a mistake, a big mistake, and he's paying the price. But how much is the price? Is banning him from football for the rest of his life too much of a price for a guy like that to pay?
Yeah.
Because he does seem like he wasn't a bad guy. he was a
Well,
charismatic guy.
there was no string of arrests. There was no guns. There was no other domestic.
Whenever you
there was no
heard Ray, it was there was domestic violence, and it was Ray Rice. I was like, "You kidding me, Ray Rice?"
Yeah, I mean, there's no police record, phone calls to his house that this is a continual problem.
Right. And you don't know. Sometimes
you don't know.
There might be more to it than that. Who knows? What led up to that? Maybe there was something going on between him and his wife. You don't really know.
Yeah.
So, at some point, if the guy does everything right, and maybe he deserves a second chance.
Right. Yeah. So, well,
it doesn't make what he did.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't defend
right,
that. So anyway, that's tune in
maybe
and see.
Maybe he can help other
one.
people learn from what his mistake.
Right, for sure. So anyway, some big games to think about coming up this week. The Dallas Cowboys, can they bounce back after horrible? They are the Thursday game this week against the Chicago Bears. The Bears lost
Another one of
season
those teams.
at 5-7.
Yeah,
Bears played about a good half of football, I guess, on Thanksgiving, but
a lot of talent on that team, but it just didn't.
It didn't gel.
Yeah, and it didn't work.
Yeah, it starts. It could be Tressman. It could be. It's got to start with Cutler, though. Cutler he just doesn't seem
Might
like.
be time for a change of scene. I don't know if anyone wants to pick up his contract, though. They gave him a big contract.
And he's there for a while.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Coach,
So that's.
who is it? Maybe he might have a short coaching career.
Yeah, Tressman. He's been around the league. A lot of people know him.
Yeah.
But anyway, we should maybe talk about some of the big games this week. But before we do, let's take a look at the standings. And what's the Rolling Stones song? Can you hear me knocking?
I
Rolling
was
Stones?
thinking. I had a song in mind, but I think I had a 6-point lead a couple weeks ago, maybe even 7.
Yeah, it might have been 6 on me and maybe 8 on Rich
so,
or something. So I chipped away there a little bit. Still got some work to do.
Oh, it's that song, "Slip Sliding Away," Paul Simon.
Paul Simon.
Something like that.
So,
Yeah. So
anyway, that's a look at our standings. 3 for 3. I think might be the first time this year I might have bagged a 3 for 3. So.
Yeah, I was on a nice little roll there, but 1 for my last 6, so making it interesting.
Aha.
I don't know. Like, they were just coming so easy. Now it's like, I really don't like putting that bag on my head when they go for 3.
Thinking about it.
I know.
So
you guys kept talking. Oh yeah, it's over. It's like, yeah, right. So.
Little mind games. So Rich Brockway is not here, but the Snowman is, and here are Rich's 3 picks for this week, and there they are. Hopefully he can make some hay. And Pete, you're still a leader, so you want to give us your best three for this week?
Pat Benatar, hit me with your best shots.
Best shot.
Well, I'm going to go with some big favorites in there. Probably arguably the 3 best teams in the league.
Yeah.
So we're going to take Denver, run it up on Buffalo at Denver. I don't see the Bills really going out to Denver and giving them a big
over
contest.
10 never again. Yeah.
And
they're still in the playoff hunt.
But they are, but
Denver's
not after
place.
this week.
Yeah.
I think the Pats are going to go and take it to San Diego. I think it's a big, big, big game, and I'm not sure San Diego can come back and hang like they did last week against the Patriots.
Yeah, that one's a 3.5.
3.5 makes me a little nervous.
Prefer that 3.
Yeah, I prefer that 3, but all you got to do is win by 4.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get back with the Pack on Monday night. 12 points, a lot of points, but Atlanta has no business being in first place or in playoff contention or anything. So
no way.
I just don't see them going from Atlanta up to the frozen tundra and competing with Green Bay.
No,
So
I think Atlanta is going to look like probably a 5-7 team on that one.
Hopefully.
A lot of points, a 12-point spread on that one. Pete, not to be a homer, but I agree with you on the New England Patriots. Hard, tough fought loss in Green Bay. But it's an AFC game. They have to have this game, and I think they get it. San Diego has been playing, I think, a little bit over their head. Huge win in Baltimore, not taking anything away from them.
Started out good, kind of hit the skids, and now they had a nice win last week.
Right, so huge win on the road. I think they come back. I think, San Diego, nice place for the Patriots to stay and practice all week. I think a great move by the Patriots this week. Take the Patriots, give away the 3.5 in that one. I like the Indianapolis Colts going into Cleveland. Division title on the line for the Colts. They win the game, they win the division.
It's a big one.
Cleveland Browns, great effort this year, but they're really banged up. Crowell kind of banged up.
Crowell was emerging.
They're going to go with Hoyer again, so I'm going to give away the 4 points. Not crazy about that on the road, but I like the Colts in this one.
I think Indy is that much better.
And this is kind of a high risk pick, but I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles at home Both teams coming off Thanksgiving night, so they both teams have that extra day of rest.
Philly, wow.
But Philly coming home and Seattle coming all the way across country. Seattle has not really proven that they're a great road team. Yeah, they beat San Fran, but they own San Fran, I think. So
seem to
take Philadelphia, just give away that 1.5 at home. Philly, I think, a tough place to play. I think that's a tough spot for Seattle.
And that's not just because your name is
Philadelphia. So anyway, should be a very entertaining.
Yeah, that's a big game.
That's a huge game in the NFC.
Yeah.
And I want to thank two guest directors. Chris Wangler from the news department, and our own Bill Heatley from MAC TV.
Oh, the Heat is back.
The heater is in the house.
He slid in there.
Waving to everybody. So anyway,
I could have got the Bill Heater pick of the week. Upset
special. The upset special. Want to yell out one, Bill, quick?
Oh yeah,
that is a big upset.
Maybe next week, Heater.
Atlanta in the 12 points. So anyway, enjoy your Week 14. A lot of playoff implications. Patriots Sunday night at San Diego. Should be a good one. Pete Smirlis and the Snowman, Rich Brockray. We'll see you next week with the new show. See you later.
Thanks for watching.